Hi, and welcome back to a new episode with Tanoka 1, where we are reviewing and discussing the latest episode in season 11 of Supernatural, called Beyond the Mat. It was written by John Bring and Andrew Dabb. John Bring I'm not terribly familiar with. Andrew Dabb, we all know, is freaking fabulous. And of course, they apparently both brought it to the mat for this episode. It was great. Oh my gosh. Like, oh yeah, good stuff. Okay, first of all, let's, yeah, I had really bad secondhand embarrassment this episode. Not gonna lie, dude. Like, burying my face in my hands and, like, wanting to, like, I don't know, somehow sink into my couch cushions, hiding my face in embarrassment for Dean, as he just kept embarrassing himself, was not good enough. I almost had to leave the room, like, twice. I was just like, I can't watch him go through this. I can't watch him do this to himself. I just have to leave. I have to go die on his behalf. It's just, I have to. I loved it. It was awful to watch. It was like a train wreck. It was beautiful. Oh, before we get too far into this, I would like to remind everybody that we are called the SPN family for a reason. If you disagree with somebody's interpretation of the show, either state it politely, but do not attack anybody about it. You know, don't argue it. Don't call them delusional. Don't call them crazy. Don't be rude. I shouldn't be having to make this PSA, but here we go anyways. You're an adult, act like it. Even if you're not an adult, act like it, because you're not a toddler. You know, this isn't rocket science. It's not difficult. It's basic common sense and human decency. You are allowed to have a different interpretation, headcanon, whatever, of the show. Be nice. We're supposed to be the SPN family. That means we have each other's backs. It doesn't mean we're at each other's throats. Come on, dude. Be cool. Don't be a dick. Don't be Bob Singer. Moving right along. Like, seriously, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything. It's pretty simple. Moving right along. So, we will get to the questions for this week's episode, which, like I said, I greatly enjoyed. Oh my God. Don't get me started. Oh God, it was beautiful. Just, oh God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, Anon said, I get the writers want Crowley to be someone that we love to hate. However, he's the reason Sara is dead. So, mission failed? I'm not sure if this is how you meant it, but it kind of, the way that reads, I'm not sure if you meant love to hate or hate to love. Because the way you wrote it, it kind of means that you're glad Sara's dead. In which case, no, she was in one episode and I waited 7 years for her to come back and marry Sam, and she died. I was not happy about that. She was in one episode and I waited 7 years for her to come back and marry Sam, and still not okay. Still not okay. God almighty, I miss Sara. And like all these other people that I just keep shipping Sam with, that just, no, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And just, that or either they're currently having a very, very awkward post-breakup that is turning out to be very violent because one of them just can't get over the fact that you said no to me. And we'll get into that later. But yeah, God, like everybody I've ever shipped him with, it just, they never show up again, ever. Or they die. Sleeping, I'm telling you, I think I've said this before, but if they want to solve the problem with Amara, they just need to have Sam have sex with her, because then she would die. It's guaranteed she would die. You have sex with Sam, you die. That's just what happens. You know, you remember that case back in season 6 where like 7 women got slaughtered in that town, and come to find out the one thing they all had in common, they had sex with Sam Winchester. Don't have sex with Sam Winchester if you want to live. Which I don't think Sara ever slept with Sam, which is why it took so long for her to die. But it's still the fact of the matter. I love Crowley. This hurt to watch, actually. And my best friend, Ugg Bunny, whom if you don't follow, you should, because she's a treasure to this earth. Crowley is like her absolute favorite character, and like it hurt me even more having to watch this, knowing the fact that he's her favorite character and he's having to lick the floor, and I was just like, oh, this is terrible, poor Crowley, this is so humiliating, I'm embarrassed, I'm horrified and humiliated for you, I am so sorry. Oh God, Lucifer, you're such a dick sometimes. Stop. Stop. He's terrible. He's awful. I love him. It's bad. It's bad. Anon said, oh my God, how cute were Sam and Dean in this episode. I felt like a mother watching her children be happy. Like, I just kind of want them to feel that kind of joy forever. Well, if you want them to feel joy forever, apparently letting Amara win might be the way to do that. But as far as, yes, they were freaking adorable. Oh my God, Dean fangirling so hard. I'm like, I don't see how anybody can see him as straight. I really don't. Like, not saying he's gay, but I definitely think he's bisexual. Definitely bisexual. And just like, dude, you didn't even try. You didn't even try. It was so cute. The whole episode was adorable. I loved it. And then, oh, God almighty. And then like the wrestler dude. Okay, first of all, you know, Gunnar is one, he like, you know, he only meets Dean at the beginning, in which case Dean, oh my God, that scene, I like literally face covered, almost had to leave the room, dying of embarrassment, but giggling at the same time because, oh my God, you're just embarrassing yourself, you big giant fangirl. It was so cute. Oh my gosh. I loved it. It was adorable. But then you have Gunnar, who Dean doesn't actually introduce himself to in when they first meet at the funeral or the wake, right? He goes over to say hi, but he doesn't ever actually like give his name or anything. He just starts waxing poetic about his idol and this dude that he's just like be still my beating heart, you know, about. Whereas meanwhile we have Sam paralleling with a woman. Which actually, if you've noticed over the years, is a pattern, and goes back to like even the Siren episode where Dean gets the guy and Sam gets the girl, and apparently nobody ever brings that up about the fact that Dean Siren was a dude. But anyways, and so then we have Gunnar, who again, Dean doesn't introduce himself or give him his name. And then, like, later on, when Dean goes to the bar to find him, Gunnar's almost like he's sitting there waiting and already has 2 shots ready and slides one over to him and is like, Dean, right? But Dean didn't tell him his name, which means Gunnar asked around. I'm like, yeah, who is that guy? Which, yes. And then, of course, like, winks at him at oh, God. It was so cute. It was so cute. And then just, like, the actor who plays him was, like, tweeting on Twitter about the fact that, like, about how adorable and what a cutie he was. And just, like, you know, also the fact that apparently that Dean probably likes it rough. And I'm just like, oh, they're not even trying. It's beautiful. I love it. Oh, God, these kind of episodes just give me joy. They're just like, yes, okay, for all the days I hated Supernatural, these almost make up for all of it. Oh, God, it was such a fun episode. It was so cute. And, oh, God, I loved it. It was so much fun. But then you also have Gunnar, who will, I thought it was interesting, well, no, we'll go back to that. But yes, Sam and Dean were cute, and I'll get off Gunnar and probably, I think I have a question about him later, so I'll get to that. But just, oh God, yeah, they were adorable. And Dean, it was just, oh God, it just, oh yeah. And Sam, the way they both react is so completely different because Sam's actually really into the match and the wrestling and the sport going on. Dean is awestruck with the dude. There's a distinct difference in their reactions. And just, oh God, they didn't even try, and I love it. I love it because, oh God, nothing makes us more mad than when they have these beautiful moments where, yes, Dean could completely understandably be bisexual, which there's nothing wrong with that. And if you think there is, there's something wrong with you. You know, but then they turn around and usually will very seriously no homo this. And they pointedly don't this episode, which was glorious. And just like, thank you. For the love of God, thank you. You know, and just like this whole episode, like, oh God. And the actor who plays Gunnar, after he tweeted that stuff, I was just like, dude, bless you, your family, your house, and your cow. I freaking love you. It's just like, yes, this, good. We're gonna get along just fine. Making me laugh is the easiest way to my heart. I mean, that's pretty much how me and my husband got married. That is the easiest and quickest way to my heart. It's probably why I like Crowley and Lucifer so much too. I'm a simple person. Alright, next question. Words Sometimes Failed said, after this episode, I think it's safe to say that most, if not all, the hands of God are one use only. I really hope the rest of this season doesn't turn into a MacGuffin scavenger hunt where Lucifer and the Winchesters just keep finding and tapping out various hands. If this show has a habit of giving its overpowered characters and objects silly handicaps, and this one is already getting old in my opinion. What do you think? I actually have several thoughts on this. Whether or not the hand of God is more than a one hit may depend on the piece. Because think about it, in the first episode, they have a piece of the Ark of the Covenant, just like a broken off piece. And so, you know, okay, yeah, that's a one-hit wonder. It's a broken piece. It's not the whole thing. You know, the Ark of the Covenant was big. I mean, 4 dudes had to carry it, and then it was hidden behind a covenant, or not a covenant. It was hidden behind heavy curtains because even like looking at it would kill you. And so, you know, this was serious business. And they just had a piece that literally took down 2 submarines. And then the you know, basically it's like it's basically science. They're testing to see what happens. And then you have the second hand of God, which is a whole piece because it's the rod of Aaron, which is probably the same rod that Moses used, that or either they just both had their own rods. You know, it's rational that they would need to test out, or, you know, that it's quite possible the rod of Aaron in its whole state could have worked and continued to work and been more than a one-hit wonder. Secondly, it might depend on who's using it, because the first person who uses it, 1, only uses a fragment, and 2, she's a human. The second experiment that we have a whole piece wielded by a demon. So, you know, and it may be some combination of the two is kind of what's causing the problem. Maybe if the hand of God were being used by the proper person, it might get multiple uses. So because the rod of Aaron and the rod of Moses, both Aaron and Moses performed numerous miracles with these items, if you read your Bible. And if you don't, just let me inform you, they performed numerous miracles. Moses and Ramesses, their whole story, go watch The Prince of Egypt, just brief, you know, version, and have all the feels, because oh my God, that gives me serious Lucifer Michael feels, and just all the way down the line apparently to oh God, I love Prince of Egypt. Shut up anybody who judges me. And then, but then the rod of Aaron, again, numerous miracles. You're probably more familiar with the lore on Moses. But numerous miracles. And it wasn't a one-hit wonder, and it's touched by the hand of God. You know, so it makes you believe that basically it's not far-fetched that in the right hands, the hands of God could be wielded, you know, as they intend to use them. Because currently, if it's just a one-hit shot, that's stupid. That is stupid. That's their biggest weapon, and their grand plan hinges on they have literally one shot. You know, that's suicide. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. And it would be better if they could basically figure out some way for if the hands of God would work properly in the hands of the proper person. Like basically if only certain people are able to wield them. Like say someone who is holy or righteous enough. I'm going somewhere with this, yes. But yeah, if maybe a righteous man could possibly use it, it doesn't necessarily have to be an angel or a demon, but maybe, you know, in which case maybe when we have between a rock and a hard place and it's the 12th hour, you know, whoever is supposed to be wielding it and doing the major fight with Amara ends up not being able to, and you have the hand of God just sort of lying there. Dean, of course, is going to make a dive for it, you know, because who better to be able to actually, you know, get one over on her and destroy her than the person who is actually most vulnerable to her. Like the biggest threat to her is actually the threat she never saw coming. And it would make sense that, you know, Dean, as the righteous man, would surprise himself with being able to wield the hand of God. So that I'm actually kind of hoping is what happens. You know, he, of course, grabs it up with the expectation of, okay, I'm going to die, but totally worth it if I take her with me. In which case, because of the foreshadowing so far in the season with Billy, is the fact that, okay, he may die. In which case, then you'll have Castiel right there willing to follow him into the dark. But who knows? Alright, so Anon said, what do you think of Gunnar in this episode? I found all the minor characters really endearing, but since he got the most focus, he of course took the cake. I also couldn't figure out whether he was a Cass or Dean parallel. On the one hand, he and Dean had the scars, ties to hell, and self-loathing. But on the other, he wound up being yet another person Dean loved but couldn't protect. Let's see. Where am I going to start with this one? First of all, I loved Gunnar. And I thought it was very interesting. And I like I said, I loved all the interactions between him and Dean. But I also found it very interesting as far as previous parallels, or not parallels, but the previous history on the show as far as how demon deals work, is the fact that basically Crossroads demons show up in the form that you most prefer, your, you know, and your sexual partners. And Gunnar's demon is a dude. I also like the nod to the fact that he recognized all the different genders, sexes, and that was cool. That's like the second time I think that's happened in the show. And so I like the fact that, like, literally we have every reason to believe that Gunnar likes boys, especially with the flirting he's doing with Dean, and that he buys him shots. And then Dean turns around and buys him drinks. Anyways, not going to focus on that too hard. I thought it was really sad though, the way it ended. That it was really sad. And as far as if Gunnar was the Dean parallel or the Cass parallel, I kind of think he's he's the Cass parallel. Because literally, here's a guy who makes, like, in his own words, he makes like a really stupid decision. With the best of intentions, makes a really stupid decision. Because Dean's just like, dude, you had the title for like a week. And he's like I said. You know, and just like, you know, comparing scars with Dean and the fact that he doesn't think he deserves to be saved. You know, all in the self-loathing he has. This is Castiel right now. This is where Castiel is. That is why he said yes to begin with. Not because he wanted to obtain necessarily something. It's because he thought he had nothing else to lose. You know? I mean, there was no reason for him to say no. And he's just like, this is the best option I can hope for. You know, that's how screwed up poor Cass is in the head right now. You know, he had nothing to say no for. Whereas the guy who ended up getting killed, the last dude that got killed, he had reason, hope enough to keep saying, you know, he wouldn't say yes to the Crossroads demon and sell his soul. And so adamantly, even though, you know, his life is at risk, his career is at risk, his dreams are at risk, he says no. You know, he still had stuff to lose. Cass didn't, or doesn't feel he does, which is kind of the most heartbreaking thing about all of this, is that Cass, you know, literally thinks he's expendable and that he doesn't matter. And that for season after season, it keeps getting reiterated to him without the positive reinforcement because the Winchesters are emotionally constipated. You know, like literally, Cass has not had any positive positive reinforcement as to their feelings for him since season 8. There's reason for that, but it doesn't necessarily have to do with characters. It has to do with the writing, and I'm not even going to get on that soapbox. So, you know, I really loved it. I loved the characters. I loved Gunnar. I hope this is not foreshadowing. I did like the fact that it was a very nice nod to earlier seasons, though, with the Hellhounds and stuff, and demon deals, and that was nice. I've kind of missed that. I miss seasons 1 through 5, like seriously hardcore. 4 and 5 are still my favorite out of all 1 through 5. And so this was, I enjoyed this episode very much, on so many different levels. And then Anon said, I'm scared to ask since your fixin' headcanons already make me sad, but what is this hilarious and horrible thought you had about the new episode? I may hate you for it, but what is it? Okay, so we are, in a recent interview that Misha did where he went to Mark Pellegrino about, okay, dude, help me get into Lucifer's head so I can act him and stuff like that. He goes, you know, give me a mindset, give me a mind frame, help me out here. And Mark Pellegrino, one of his advice is the fact that, like, basically everybody is a toy to Lucifer and that he wants to have sex with everything. And Misha's just like, thank you for that. That's super deep and helpful. I'm just gonna go rewatch your episodes over and over and over again, okay? That's literally basically I think what he did. And in which case what amused me is the fact that, okay, you've heard everybody basically has talked about how Lucifer's so out of character this season, right? And nobody can figure out why. You know, and in which case, you know, it just God, it's so aggravating. But then I had the thought about the fact that, like, wait a minute. 1, we already know Lucifer is completely very jealous. 2, he does not handle what he considers rejection well. 3, this is literally like the 3rd time Sam has kind of rejected him. and Lucifer's even said, you know, about, like, in the last episode about, you know, you're just, I think I can't let you go because you're like the girl who kept turning me down for prom. And just, it's kind of entertaining to me about the fact that, like, literally, Lucifer, since he's gotten out, has not tried to destroy the world, has not, you know, tried to promote the demons to go on murderous sprees or do anything bad. He's only gone after Crowley because how dare you sit on my throne and call it yours? No. Mine. And I hate demons and hell, but get off my throne. And then he's gone after Dean and Sam. Because literally, we've already seen him at a park, didn't hurt anybody, didn't slaughter anybody, was feeding ducks, runs into another angel, tries to talk to them first about the fact that, hey, don't let me fight you, and then only kills him when he's left with no choice. And it's just like, why? Which, again, we know he does previously, back in season 5. And then, like I said, he only suddenly lashes out and gets angry and violent because we already know, 1, that apparently Lucifer was sending the visions to Sam to get Sam to come down to the cage because you're going to need my help. And he only reacts badly to it when Sam tells him no. And Lucifer is sort of slapped by this because of the fact that, like, literally, dude, I am actually trying to help you this time. You know, not destroy the world. And you are still telling me no? You know, what the fuck does it take? What do I have to do to get through to you? You know, just love me! That's literally apparently all Lucifer wants in life, is to be loved and be the favorite. He does not handle being second best. Or, you know, being the second favorite. You know, and so literally, apparently, it's pretty safe to assume at this point he's literally just lashing out because Sam broke up with him and won't take him back, and he won't date Lucifer, which amuses me deeply. That just struck me as very funny. Like, just, it really did. Yes, this is all just him lashing out and being angry because Sam won't date him. It's not unreasonable to assume this. To think this, and like I said, it just made me chuckle, so I thought I would share it. My other horrible thought, and I swear to God, if they do this, I will throw up, is Mark Pellegrino kind of has me worried, and this previous episode has me kind of worried because of the line where he says he just wants to have sex with everything. and then Lucifer's attention toward the little cute black demon. She was adorable, by the way. Oh my God, she was so cute. But like his attention's toward her, and that she's like his right-hand thing. At least now she's dead. So I'm less concerned about a future problem, but I'm having like the horrible thought, oh God, he didn't sleep with her, did he? Oh God, you know, he wouldn't do that to Castiel, would he? You know, because literally that would be making, okay, first of all, Cass would be being raped, and then whoever she is possessing would be being raped, because neither one of them consent to it, because they're both possessed, you know, and this happened in season 9 with April, and fans were just like, we basically flipped our lids. And Bob Singer was just like, oh yeah, we completely forgot about that. You can't forget about the laws of physics that you set in place in your own world. You can't. I mean, this is the whole reason Sam made Ruby get another vessel, is because of the fact that she was possessing somebody and taking them away from their life, and that's unfair. You know, go find a body that's not occupied. And the writers basically did this so that when Sam and Ruby later started banging each other, Sam wasn't raping somebody. You know, and as far as we knew in the April episode was that Cass literally was, Jimmy was getting raped. Oh God. Like literally that's what I kept screaming at the screen was, oh my God, Jimmy can't consent! Jimmy can't consent! Oh God almighty, that was a horrific, traumatic scene for me to watch. And like everybody, apparently the whole internet was like freaking out, because that's just, and then we found out it got worse. April is a rogue reaper who was possessing somebody, so the person she was possessing couldn't consent either. And when the producers and stuff were confronted with this, they were like, oh yeah, we forgot about that. How do you literally forget the laws of physics within your own world? You know? Are you serious? How do you forget that? You know, how do you just, you know, forget about gravity, or the laws of motion, or that the earth is round and revolves around the sun? How do you forget the laws of physics within your own world? You know, demons have to have permission, 1, to possess somebody. And then 2, demons have to have a meat suit. So they're possessing somebody. That's not actually how they look. You know, they're black smoke. How do you forget the laws of physics within your own world? You know, and then blatantly disregard them when it's brought to your attention, hey, you literally wrote a rape scene and you've written several. You know, and just like, how? Oh God, but if Lucifer has sex with somebody, especially if they show it, I will throw up. I will just be horrified and disgusted. I will throw up. And that was my horrible, horrible thought, especially, but then, like I said, now she's dead, which yay. For this one factor, because she was super cute and I really liked her. But then Lucifer's attentions to her, I was like, oh God, please don't bang that. Please don't bang it. Please don't hit it. She's cute, but no. You know, don't tap anything. You know, I don't think Lucifer would necessarily do that to his brother. You know, considering the fact that apparently Cass is aware enough that he can take over control and he isn't being tormented or anything like that as far as we know. And Lucifer's not going on killing sprees, so he's not putting his brother through that. He is actually still keeping to his deal about, hey, if I get out, I will help you defeat Amara. You know, he's just not necessarily working with the Winchesters and still has a grudge against them because, you know, basically Sam keeps dumping me and he puts his faith in Dean. You know, and Lucifer is like not taking that well. He doesn't handle rejection well. And Gabriel's already pointed this out, that he's jealous and a great big bag of dicks. So yeah, that was my horrible, horrible, horrible thought. And hilarious thought too, was that, you know, Lucifer's basically acting out against Dean and Sam because he's jealous and an ex who doesn't handle rejection well at all. And that amused me deeply. At least we have some sense of, okay, now it makes sense why he's doing this. Because so far we have absolutely no in-canon reasoning why Lucifer apparently got a lobotomy and a 180 personality change. But that was this episode. Like I said, in case you couldn't tell, I enjoyed it. You know, no, actually, no, I hated it. It was terrible. I never want to watch this episode again. God. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you did too. you know, feel free to leave a feedback in the comment section or on my ask. You can reach me at shinoka1.tumblr.com/ask. You can ask about the current episodes, or you can talk to me about, you know, this video or anything like that. We now have a hiatus of like another month, which, wow, makes me want to cry down to my soul. If you would like me to do any other videos between now and then, whether it be about supernatural or something else, let me know. Books, other TV shows, movies, anything, like, just let me know. You can leave suggestions in the comment section or hit me up over at Tumblr. Bye!